Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this new type of video I thought about. I just wanted to just ramble on a little bit about Secret and the Mimic and just, talk about it a little bit because it's about to come out in like one day, like literally of the day after this recording, so that's pretty cool. I think spike the mic there. Anyway, but yeah, I've been wanting to make this for a little bit now, but I keep on running into issues where the mic just goes dead and or something goes wrong. And yeah, it's like better late than never, I suppose. So hopefully if this gets released on a timely manner. So yeah, I just wanted to just ramble on about some Secret Mimic and how it's looking pretty good so far, and how it's like I'm really loving the environments and the very little gameplay that we've seen so far. I've yet to see the hour-long preview thing because I'd rather have that part just hidden away from me right now. But I'd rather have some kind of mystery show at all. I'm okay with seeing those little gameplay sneak peeks that we've been seeing around the place, because it feels like much more like normal marketing and just normal glimpse at things. But that just could be just my own my own way of saying, hey, I just want to take a look at some stuff here and there. I don't know. But either way, the game so far looks pretty cool. I definitely am enjoying the graphics of them all. I definitely do like how it's far more of a the place looks darker and far more covered in shadows and other type of stuff. Because that was my main problem with Scary Breach. I felt a little too bright at moments. I felt like when Scary Breach had those darker moments where the flashlight was imperative to your survival, felt like really spooky. And I'm unsure if we're going to be having a flashlight in this game, but definitely does seem to be far more darker moments, it seems like. Plus, I really do like cramped, the cramped and like close together spaces, since it definitely does add a lot of horror to it all, and it's like it looks really cool. I've heard that it's gonna be like a somewhat linear, somewhat open world type of thing. I think they called it. I'm not sure if that was what it was. I can't exactly remember, but I think that's what it was. But still, I'm very much intrigued by this entire thing so far. And yeah, I'm intrigued about the story, what it's gonna be all about, and how Edwin and the Mimic gonna go together. I'm intrigued by the idea of the movie because it seems like a pretty cool looking concept of like a thing that just shapeshifts to just certain other creatures here and there, and how it just turns into turns into like this monstrosity type of thing by mimicking the wrong person, which is like a really cool type of concept of like a creature that does not stop no matter what. Which I definitely do find very much fun. My personal thing is that like it's gonna be like this entire thing's gonna be just really cool and amazing. I'm also excited to see like how like this connects to the FNAF as a whole. I don't really think we're gonna have like any big type of connections to like the original 1 through 6 thing. I definitely do think some people saying that it's gonna connect, like how oh man, it's gonna connect directly to Henry and William. It feels like it's probably not gonna do it that way. I definitely do think it's gonna connect to them, but I don't really think it's gonna affect their story too much. It's at the very much it's probably going to like casually confirm certain things here and there, but I don't really think characters like William and Henry are going to be like very big and important characters in these newer games, since it might be fun to have them, yeah, I'm sure, but I think their stories have ended in the original timeline events of 1 through 6. And it definitely does feel like it's a nice little finality thing of just having them, they're very much supposed to be smaller cameos without making them too important to the story and making them like feel like they're meant to be far more just integral to the plot, just things to connect the original Fazbear timeline of events in the original Fazbear Entertainment thing. I never liked the entire idea of. I think there's a theory out there that how Henry, Edwin, and William are working together as like a trio. I'm like, that doesn't feel right because it feels weird to just have this random third person just be thrown in there when in actuality it just feels weird to throw him in there. Like, why is like we haven't seen him in like photos or literally of anything? Like, I'm pretty sure his relationship with William and Henry were just as like a contractor who made stuff for the company and stuff like that. I'm willing to bet he has some kind of connection to Fredbear's. Maybe he has connection to spring-like suits, or maybe it's connected to something else entirely. I'm not exactly sure. But I definitely do find it interesting that that's a lot of Fredbear imagery, Fredbear's family diner imagery, which is pretty cool to see. I'm very excited to see if I really do hope at some point in these games we get to see Fredbears, because it's the only location we haven't really have seen in full-on game. Though maybe we haven't seen the first Freddy's location, like in the full FNAF 2, like the one where the missing children took place in. That one. And that would be also pretty neat to see, but I don't really think that would really have changed much. Or I've been to 2 Freddy's, so I don't really think that would really have changed much. This Fredbear I'm more intrigued by, since that's like the very start of the Fazbear Entertainment business. Yeah, maybe in this game we'll see like a full-on Spring Bonnie and Fredbear fully designed thing, because that could be pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen a fully designed Spring Bonnie thing. Though I'm pretty sure we've seen a fully designed Fredbear. That was the one from UCN, I'm pretty sure, from Ultimate Custom Night, with the purple bow tie and top hat. And yeah, that's a little disappointing. It's just a Freddy with a purple top hat and bow tie, but that kind of does make sense though. I definitely am intrigued by what a Spring Bonnie or a Yellow Rabbit would look like. And yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by that. I definitely am intrigued also by the gameplay and what that'll be like, because it definitely does seem like it'll still have the Scary type of vibe of like being chased down by stuff and trying to hide away. But it definitely does seem like they're going to upgrade some things here and there. It definitely does seem like they're going to have a lot more fun with it and just mess around with it more. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a better time with the story here, because Steel will now actually have cawthon tell them what the story's meant to be. Kind of wish they would tell us what the canon of the books are. Well, that'd be just nice. But whatever, I suppose. That totally wouldn't just save some arguing, but whatever. But it's very nice the fact that since Steel Wool finally has a way to actually tell the story without just guessing things. Because believe it or not, you cannot make a game without knowing the story of what the game you're trying to make. Because if you do that, it's not going to work out too well. As we saw in Scary Breach, where things weren't really meant to be connected. Where certain things aren't really meant to be that important, but still made them important because, they didn't know what they were doing. Because they weren't really told what to do. They were just told to put certain puzzle pieces here and there. So that's unfortunate. But at the very least, it seems like they're on the right track for that type of stuff. And hopefully Skycast industry have learned from all this type of stuff that's not a good way of running things. So yeah, I'm always intrigued by all that stuff. There's a lot more. It's intriguing to me that it really does feel like FNAF is moving away from parts of FNAF, but at its core, it's still FNAF to me. To me, whenever someone says it's no longer FNAF, is only half correct, because to me, I definitely do think something like Secret Mimic is still FNAF, but it's lost a lot of what else makes FNAF FNAF, but not in a bad way. It's far more the way of evolution, just getting rid of certain things here and there because it's no longer needed at that moment. I'm not saying we'll ever see a FNAF style type of game of sitting down and take a look at cameras ever again, the made by stool type of thing. But it definitely does seem like they're moving away from that, which makes sense because after 6 games, you tend to go, hey, maybe we should just stop doing this and just do something else entirely. But while still keeping that heart of the original games. I mean, Resident Evil has entire third person to first person while still keeping the vibe, so that's something. I was pretty sure it's far more different than simply switching the cameras to straight up just being able to walk around the place. So yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see. Which I definitely do think a free roam FNAF game is a lot more fun with an open space. Free roam FNAF where you stick around the office is a bit hard to do since it's and something a free roam FNAF one's hey man, you gotta walk over here, type of stuff. It's a bit hard to do. That's something the Joy of Creation definitely does work with that, because you just move around the place, move around the office like that. It definitely does work out a lot more. Though I suppose technically it's not free room in some places, because just the bedroom is just you stick around there, but still I suppose around beyond things. Huh? Don't worry about that. And I'm also very much glad to see that Steel Wool is allowed to give much more effort, since they're able to work much more better since they're all together now and not just thrown away with, with all that stuff that happened with COVID. It definitely like hurt development of Scary Breach a lot. And yeah, it's always unfortunate when that happens. But it's life, I suppose, and just move on. I am intrigued by what's likely going to happen with the next Scary Breach game. Or maybe not a Scary Breach game at all, maybe just, I don't know what's likely those next games we call the, I don't really know. I'm intrigued also by what's likely that's going to take place in. I'm just saying, man, I really would love to see a FNAF game taking place in an apartment building or just in a little city. Because, I don't know, man, maybe just because I've seen the Evil Dead Rises movie, and the entire idea of that stuff taking place in an apartment building is just scary, and I just really do love the entire vibe. I don't know, it just seems really cool to me. Or Cabin in the Woods, that could be pretty fun, like a FNAF Cabin in the Woods game. There's gotta be a game like that. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure there's like it's like fully read like a not Game Boy, but a Virtual Boy. I forgot what it was called. Yeah, I know it's like fully read and stuff like that. It's like FNAF inspired, or just FNAF like, I don't know. I'm rallying on here. But still though, it's gonna be a very interesting time to see all these characters be developed. Of course, people like Vanessa and Gregory will be developed. This is purely gonna be a Edwin and Mimic game, because it's gonna develop their characters and how they fit in the timeline. At least I hope so. At least I hope they're gonna be full-on characters, not just background things. Just simply, hey, here's this one type of stuff, because that'll be a bit disappointing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. Yeah, I am intrigued though. I've seen a lot of people simply say that like our main protagonist for Secret of the Mimic is gonna be someone like William Afton. I don't really think it's gonna be William Afton, because like the idea of it being William Afton seems like just a weird way to connect him back to the games. It feels like that makes it feel like it's trying to make him important to the story again. I don't know, it just feels a bit weird. Also, I don't really think William Afton would be dumb enough to just throw himself down into the pits of this unknown creature until he fully knows what's going on. Dude was overconfident, sure, but still though, he had like some kind of idea of what to do at the very most. When he took down the animatronics, he was like, he knew how to take him down much more easily. Though he did freak out towards some ghost. Oh, sure, but I don't really get that entire argument of him being a scared cat towards some ghost. I'm gonna take 2 minutes here so we talk about that. I don't get that entire thing of like, hey, William Afton's a coward since he was scared of some ghost children. Like, yeah, but fair to him though, he didn't really know ghost children were a thing. He thought they were just ghost juice and stuff like that, and wherever the heck Remnant is. He didn't even know the entire existence of ghost children could exist. So the entire idea of just ghost children just walk up to him just seems just a bit terrifying. What you want him to do? He took down some animatronics with like bare hands or a wrench or whatever. But like, I don't think he can fist fight a couple of ghost children. It's a weird thing to complain about. Alright. Anyway, just gonna switch back to Secret Mimic. Yeah, sorry for that. But still, I like saying still though. That's weird. I don't know. I'm just. Can you tell it's not scripted? Yeah, this has been meaning to make this for a while now. But last time I started recording this, I went on too much of a weird ramble. I became incoherent, and the second time I did that, the mic was muted. I had to troubleshoot that, and it took me 20 minutes to figure that out. Because apparently this thing doesn't have a thing where it says, hey, mic is muted. And OBS is not fun nowadays. It's fun, just it's complicated. And I'm figuring out slowly but surely. I'm definitely gonna get a new mic, because Audacity does not work with this, and I have to boost up the mic in order just to hear myself talk. Because it always feels like it's really quiet on Audacity, and this thing is just, I don't know. I'm just complaining here. Anyway, it doesn't really matter right now. What matters right now is that Secret Mimic is getting very close to seeing the development of seeing where it all goes. I really hope cawthon just like takes everything and like truly learns of where to go next, and truly learns from what's hold back the franchise in the past. I really hope he's just honest about certain canon elements here and there. Because like I truly believe that a lot more elements could be a lot more fun if you just said yes or no some of these. Because like a lot more, like if he just said yes or no towards some like Phasma Frights or Tales of the Peaceplex, then it would be a lot more fun of like, okay, so yeah, we got a general idea of how to use these hints. Because we never know if like certain hints here and there are meant to be in certain stories, but we all throw them away as like just like whatever, just like a side story that doesn't really matter. It's not the continuity or canon. Turns out it is, and no one picked it up because like I don't know. But you know, I love the man, but you know, sometimes he can be just frustrating sometimes, especially with something like FNAF 4. That's a beast to take a look at someday in the future. That's gonna be fun. What's up? That's gonna be real fun to take a look at in the future. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. But at the very least, it seems like they're going in the direction of being far more, like a little more simplistic with the story, while still having that FNAF 5, like being confusing while, you know, it's like I saw in Ruin, where it's like I understood what was happening and who these characters are. I got a general idea of who and what they meant to each other and stuff like that. But at no point did I feel like it's like a two-piece puzzle. I always felt like it was like I got a general framework of the entirety, while the middle part was just that was the text. Sorry about that. While the entire middle part still had like a lot of puzzle pieces to go. Sure, sometimes I do feel like I need like an answer whether or not these puzzle pieces are important or all these puzzle pieces are not important. But whatever, I suppose it does not matter. Yeah. I definitely am hoping for Steel to be given more love, because, you know, I feel like they're getting way too much hate. I know Skid Rich wasn't the most well received, but I feel like Steel Wool was like the main one who got screwed over the entire thing. Because, you know, Scott Cawthon, sure, he wasn't developing the game, but I feel like you can blame him for if you don't like the story for that one, or the fact that the story is a bit more confusing than it really should have been. I don't hate Skid Rich per se. I'm just okay with it. It's just a story I'm just very mad about. There's a lot of concepts were there that would have been so cool, that just won't develop too much. But that's a discussion for another day, because I don't really want to talk about Skid Rich for a little bit, because I don't have much information on it right now. Well, I do, it's just I don't have it right in front of me right now. So yeah. Okay, this was mostly about Skid Mimic. We got some sort of small bit of Steel Wool and Scott Cawthon stuff. That's fun. I like that. Anyway, I was going to say my final thoughts. I am very excited for Secret and the Mimic. It looks amazing so far. I love the voice acting we have seen. I love the graphics. I love the music so far of what we've seen from the gameplay teasers. And I am very, very excited to see this entire experience. And yeah, this has been a fun little thing. Maybe we'll do this again someday. Maybe I'll ramble on about some other topics if y'all feel like it. And yeah, just tell me your opinions on some of these things and what you think, because who knows, maybe I'll ramble on about the books if I ever have the chance to do that, or ramble on about stuff where they won't be able to fit into a video that we'll be able to make a script out of. And yeah, it could be fun. I really do. Anyway, in case any of y'all want to see me play Secret and the Mimic, come on down to the channel tomorrow around 11:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Might start a little earlier because I have no idea how fast the thing's gonna download. But still though, come down and just have some fun. You don't have to stay, just, maybe say hello. It could be nice, but you don't have to. Anyway, I'm gonna end this long drawn intro, but outro. And yeah, hope you all have a fantastic day today. Yeah, without the script is weird. Anyway, just goodbye.